Boyfriend 28M broke up with me 28F for lying. Is there anything I can do? We've been together for 5 years now. I have a history of lying to him about my past before we were together. I've been ashamed of myself for being sexually promiscuous when I was single, and we started our relationship when I was in a dark place. He's always been very emotional, and I didn't want to tell him about certain things in my past out of fear that I would lose him. I'm very well aware that this has now caused our relationship breakdown as he no longer trusts me. I've laid everything out on the table for him today. I've told him every single little thing, including deep childhood traumas. He says it's now too late. He says there's no trust left, and I can't build it out of nowhere. He's convinced that I've been unfaithful at the beginning of our relationship. I was not in any way. I can't get him to believe me. I've offered to do a lie detector test. I've told him how much I love him and how much he means to me. He's the most important person in the world to me, and we have such a beautiful life together. I am hurting so bad over this, and I wish I was honest from the beginning. How do you build back trust that has been shattered like this? I need another chance to prove myself to him. I would never lie again. I've told him absolutely everything. Please help. Be honest with your next partner. The way to give someone a chance to accept your past is to be honest from the beginning. If you're unwilling to be honest about your past, it's a reflection of your insecurity, not others. There are consequences for past behavior. Relationships, jobs, opportunities, etc. can all be limited by past decisions. People have a right to be selective for any number of reasons. Lying disrespects the other person's right to discretion. Sorry, but you cooked this one from the beginning. It's almost impossible to rebuild shattered trust. Learn a hard lesson from this. Next time, be honest up front. And stop being ashamed of yourself. You did what you did. End of story. I don't understand this whole obsession with body count in the first place. When you go into a new relationship, they don't get to judge you because they aren't the first. Tell your next boyfriend the truth from the start. If they can't handle it, then they aren't the right person. There are 3 main components in a relationship: love, trust, and respect. When one or more of those is missing, it doesn't work. Trust is missing. You didn't trust him enough to tell him the truth. For whatever reason, the trust just wasn't there, even over 5 years. So you lied, either by telling a lie or by omitting part of the truth. Now, he discovered your lies, so he no longer trusts you. It would be better at this point to move forward without this relationship. It will hurt and it will be hard, but experience makes you wiser, so next time around, you'll be different. Don't be ashamed of your past. It is what it is, and you aren't the same now as you were then. Accept and love yourself first, maybe get some therapy. Wishing you the best. A relationship you had to lie to make work was never a healthy relationship in the first place. It's a valid choice to not want to continue it when discovering it was based on lies. If he isn't offering you a chance to make it right, that's pretty much it, I think. Without trust, there can be no love. It sounds like he has made up his mind, and you need to accept that. My boyfriend 22M called me 21F average and said he shouldn't be together with an average person. I am a pretty insecure person since I was severely bullied and my parents weren't the best either. I'm also depressed. My confidence is basically at 0. My boyfriend is very aware of this. When we argue, my boyfriend gets really angry. Last argument we had went pretty bad. He called me an average person, said that I have nothing special. He said, "You're not particularly pretty and are not particularly smart, you're average. I shouldn't be with an average person. Why am I with you?" He made sure to bring me down that evening. He called me a loser as well and said that we should break up. When I was changing into my pajamas and turned around while changing, he said, "You have nothing to hide anyways." In other arguments, he has called me a weight and a useless person. Then after the argument, he acted normal with me again. He does this often says that we have to break up during the argument and then act normal afterwards. He is aware that his vice is pride, but instead of trying to fix it, it just keeps getting worse. But I love him so much. How can we fix this? You love your own personal bully? Go to therapy, girl, learn how to love yourself. You don't fix this. You leave. He's abusing you, and that is incredibly mean. The only dead weight in this relationship is him, and you should 100% leave him. Girl, this guy should eat shit. How can we fix this? A boyfriend upgrade is the only solution. What a waste of space he is. You fix it by leaving. Is my boyf, 29M, actually not going to marry me, 29F? I'm new here, so bear with me. I'm a 29F, and my boyfriend, 29M, of 8 years been avoiding the marriage talk for years. He has been keeping me a secret from everyone, including his friends, saying that he doesn't want to jinx it. I know that I'm going to come out as a dumb person for still trusting him. But I have my reasons. He does treat me well every now and then, but he's super secretive of his phone, and recently when I asked him to please let me know if he wants to get married, he said he's unsure and stopped talking to me for over a week. Then later, he came back saying he wants to marry me but not really sure when he wants to do it. And recently he started following his ex-girlfriend in his socials saying that he met her in an event recently and it will seem rude if he doesn't follow her back as she's also his best friend's sister. But all this is just not making sense to me. It feels like he's hiding something huge from me. Please advise on if I'm being way too optimistic by staying in this relationship or it's just all in my head. I feel like there's a huge chunk of information missing. Please help me out. 8 years and he hasn't told anybody about you. I'm sorry, but you're nothing but a side piece to him. That's as unfathomably crazy. It sounds like you've been the side chick for 8 years. Please gather up your self-respect and leave this loser. He's already married. Girl, what? You're a secret even from his friends. He's never even going to date you, let alone marry you. That is someone else's boyfriend, not yours. You can't be this oblivious. You wasted 8 years of believing his lies. Don't waste any more. Move on. Been the other woman for 8 years. Damn, do yourself a favor and leave. How do I 21F come back from telling my boyfriend 21M, bigger is not always better? My boyfriend and I have been dating for about 4 months. The conversation of, is bigger actually better, came up and I told him that from my own experience that it isn't. I did not mean it in a bad way or to hurt his feelings. To be honest, sometimes I get word vomit with these kinds of conversations and I don't know what I am going to say. He took it bad and is upset with me. I don't know how to come back from this and make him feel better. It seems like everything I say is making it worse. Thoughts? Don't ask questions if you can't handle the answers. What exactly is he upset about? Ask him if there's any response to that question that wouldn't upset him because your answer was fine. Was he expecting you to say, who cares, you're the biggest and best I've ever had? Smiling face. If he initiated the conversation and asked, he fucked around and found out. What did he expect? He must know how he compares to the average, the number is on the internet. You're not some magical guru. Now if you said it unprompted, then in the future learn to take a moment before you speak lol. If the topic was brought up I'm assuming he was asking. So that seems unfair to you. It's not like you called him small, it's not like you judged his size, you didn't say anything about him at all. You simply alluded to the fact that you have had sex with people with a large penis. If he can't handle the idea that someone you've been with in the past is larger than him, that's a him issue. If the genders were reversed and you asked him if he had ever been with someone with bigger boobs, and he said, yay but it isn't that great, and you got mad, every single comment would be calling you dramatic and say you set him up for failure. Do not let the men of Reddit convince you you did anything wrong. He needs to grow up. I am confused about why he is upset with the words, bigger is not always better. You are simply stating that size isn't the be-all end-all of satisfaction. That is not a threatening statement. It actually should relieve most men knowing that whatever their size is, it is how you listen and use it that matters. He sounds very immature and insecure. Move on and find a more confident man you won't have to raise.